you?
Yeah.
Yes, ready to rock.
Stand at a search party. Hello. Lovely. Smashing the bees late.
Talk to anyone that day, Harry. Remember you were there?
You can run.
And I just said hello to you. I say, we're speaking for 2 seconds. I didn't get to sit down and talk to you. No, not at all. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a treat in store. In a moment I'm going to ask you all to please stand and take up your orders of ceremony to receive the bride. As you do so, we'd like you all to join in singing along with Mark Nilsson from the band Friday I'm in Love, who played at this year's Glastonbury Festival. Now a quick plug for Mark. His band can also be found at this year's Edinburgh Festival as they are the resident band in Potter Row, so please tell your friends and do go along. For now, however, if you would please be upstanding and join in singing You Give a Little Love from Bugsy Malone. Now Helen tells me that only when she hears this that she will make her entrance, so please give it your best. Mark.
It's gonna start.
So nice and loud now.
We could have been anything that we wanted to be, and it's not too late to change. I'd be delighted to give it some thought. Maybe you'll agree that we really are 2, 3, 4. decision was ours. It's been decided to be divided. Let friendship double up our hearts. Everything that we wanted to be, and I'm not saying we should. But if we tried it, we'd learn to abide it. We could be the best at being good guys. Flowers of the earth, can even guess how much a real friend is worth. Good guys, shake an open hand. Maybe we can trust it if we try to understand. No doubt about it, it must be worthwhile. Good friends do tend to make you smile. We could be anything that we want it to be. Yes, that decision is ours. It's been decided, we're weaker divided. Let friendship double up our powers. You give a little love and it all comes back to you. La 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 la. You're gonna be remembered for the things that you say and do. La 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 la. Give a little love and it all comes back to you. La 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 la. You're gonna be remembered for the things that you say and do. La 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 la. One more time. Give a little love and it all comes back to you. La 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 la. You know you're gonna be remembered for the things that you say and do. La 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 la.
Unrehearsed, that was excellent. Please be seated. Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Duncan Robertson, and I'm a celebrant with the Humanist Fellowship of Scotland. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all here to Ravenshoek to be a part of Helen and Rusty's wedding. They have asked me to thank you all for being here with them. Helen and Rusty consider each of you a very important part of their lives, and therefore a very important part of their marriage. And today, you will bear witness to the commitment they make to each other and that they will live by for the remainder of their lives. In deciding to have a humanist ceremony, Helen and Rusty have chosen to marry in a way they feel best represents who they are and how they live their lives together. The principal purpose of Helen and Rusty's wedding is to celebrate their finding each other and their decision to live their lives together. We are all here as one company to celebrate this unique and special occasion of their marriage. Our first reading today is the poem Meeting Point by the Irish poet and playwright Louis MacNeice.
Meeting Point by Louis MacNeice. Time was away and somewhere else. There were 2 glasses and 2 chairs and 2 people with 1 pulse. Somebody stopped the moving stairs. Time was away and somewhere else. And they were neither up nor down. The stream's music did not stop flowing through heather limpid brown. And although they sat in a coffee shop, and they were neither up nor down. Time was away and somewhere else. The waiter did not come. The clock forgot them, and the radio walls came out like water from a rock. Time was away and somewhere else. Her fingers flicked away the ash that bloomed again in tropic trees, not caring if the markets crash when they had forests such as these. Her finger flicked away the ash. God, or whatever means the good, be praised that time can stop like this, that what the heart has understood can verify in the body's peace. God, or whatever, means the good. Time was away, and she was here. And life no longer what it was. The bells were silent in the air, and all the room one glow, because time was away, and she was here.
Thank you, Wesley. Helen and Rusty, marriage is perhaps the greatest and most challenging adventure of human relationships. No ceremony can create your marriage. Only you can do that. Through love and patience, through dedication and perseverance, through talking and listening, helping and supporting, and believing in each other. Through tenderness and laughter, through learning to forgive, learning to appreciate your differences, and by learning to make the important things matter and let go of the rest. What this ceremony can do is witness and affirm the choice you make to stand together through life. Marriage is an equal partnership of love, support, and respect for each other. It offers opportunities for sharing and growth that no other relationship can equal. A wife and a husband, or indeed a wife and a wife, or a husband and a husband, are each other's friend, confidant, lover, teacher, listener, and critic. It is a physical and emotional partnership that is promised for a lifetime, a commitment to always be there for each other. Marriage deepens and enriches every facet of life. Happiness is fuller, memories are fresher, commitment is stronger, even anger is felt more strongly but passes away more quickly. Marriage understands and forgives the mistakes life is unable to avoid. It encourages and nurtures new life, new experiences, and new ways of expressing a love that is deeper than life. Promising to enrich their lives together and as individuals. They are not promising to forgo their individuality, but to live in partnership together. They will love, care for, and work with each other so that each of them will live a life which is fuller, happier, and richer than it would be without their marriage. Now, Helen and Rusty met almost 6 years ago at work. They soon knew that something was up when they realized much too late that they were, and indeed had been for quite a while, boring everyone senseless at work with their endless debating, mostly about politics. With both of them, current affair addicts, they had certainly met their match. Soon, the debating poured over into non-working hours and after-work drinks. And very soon, it was just the two of them going. They spent many months in what could only be described as old-fashioned courting, until Helen drummed up the courage to say out loud what they'd both been thinking for so many months, that they had fallen head over heels in love. Or at least, that's how Rusty remembers it. Helen's correct recollection of events is that she revealed to a rather gobsmacked Rusty that it was obvious as he had fallen in love with her. And all this before they had their first kiss. In keeping their budding relationship a secret from work colleagues, or at least thinking they were, they implemented a rule of never speaking to each other or acknowledging each other at work, which lasted right up until last year when Helen left her job, one of her many jobs, to take a lecturer post with Dundee University. However, unbeknown to both of them, they're clearly not as subtle as they think they are. When they finally did tell the people at work, many months after they got together, their colleagues tried but failed to hold the laughter in, as they had clearly known all along. They got to know each other better in Edinburgh's local old man pubs and spent many evenings and weekends watching gigs and going to various music festivals. They share similar tastes in music, though Helen says hers is even better than Rusty's. They also share a love of food and eating out. For now, at least, a taste of eating meat. Helen blaming Rusty for no longer keeping up as a vegetarian. They also share a taste for real ales. Again, something Helen says she's developed from Rusty. But they also share a love of the sea, hence why we're all in this wonderful place today. Helen and Rusty have gallivanted around most of the east coast of Scotland and munched their way through most of its seafood. Indeed, Helen's engagement ring contains sand from her favourite beach, just up the coast from here. And it's made from Irish walnut, quite apt for a carpenter's daughter and his one-time assistant. Whether she was a help or a hindrance, only her father can say. But the pocket money kept on coming regardless. They've spent many holidays in lighthouses and fishermen's cottages, both at home and abroad. And after their wedding, they'll be heading off to the Azores Islands in the Atlantic Ocean, in the hope of seeing several species of whales and dolphins. Indeed, when they first got together, both being rather proud of the respective scenic beauty of where they grew up, they used to argue that each other's nearby cliffs were better than the others. Only after travelling to Ballycotton in Cork and Findon in Aberdeenshire did they realise how remarkably similar their childhoods were. Rusty and Helen have enjoyed getting to know each other's families over the last few years in Aberdeenshire, Edinburgh, London, Uddingston and Cork. And both have now been truly welcomed as part of the other's family. However, despite Rusty's many trips to Cork over the years, his Corkonian accent hasn't improved that much. But I'm sure that he'll be more than happy to prove you all wrong later tonight. Helen and Rusty moved in together almost 4 years ago, and they bought their first house last year. They have 2 cats to help fill it, brothers Seamus and Spartacus, who both send their apologies today. A few weeks after moving in, they went on holiday to Crete for the wedding of Paddy and Amy, Paddy being Rusty's best man here today. And after a fabulous time and the pleasure or pressure of being Paddy's best man, their love of the sea views and seafood drew them to the nearby island of Santorini, or so Helen thought. Walking into an unimaginably romantic hilltop hotel, Helen's well-known gullibility came to the fore. Asking casually whilst gazing at the panoramic views if this was within their budget. Rusty managed to splutter out a yes. Gullible, I mean over-trusting. Helen was over the moon with this find and entirely oblivious about what was about to happen. Rusty, perhaps to increase his chances of a successful outcome, caught her unawares and proposed while she was waking up after a siesta. And the rest, well, here we are today celebrating the marriage. They both feel incredibly lucky to have met their match in so many ways, and perhaps in others yet to be discovered. And they feel incredibly lucky to have their nearest and dearest here with them today as they celebrate.
Running my hands through her hair, both of us thinking how good it can be. Someone is speaking, but she doesn't know he's there. I want her everywhere, and if she's beside me, I know I need never care. But to love her is to need her everywhere, knowing that love is to share. Each she's beside me, I know I need never care. But to love her is to need her everywhere. Knowing that love is to share. Each one believing that love never dies. Watching her eyes and hoping I'm always there. I will be there and everywhere. Here, there, and everywhere.
Well done. Please be seated. Helen said, Rusty, more than anybody I've ever met, stays true to his word and himself. If he tells you he's going to do something, he absolutely will do it. And I know without any hesitation that he will always be there for me. His compassion, his belief in fairness, justice and equality for those less fortunate, less privileged in life is what drives his intellect, his way of being and seeing the world. His authentic desire to do his part in the world to help change that makes me incredibly proud to be by his side. His deep appreciation of life. I have never met anyone, perhaps apart from me, who is so naturally happy, so full of gratitude to be on planet Earth. It's his default. He never ever sweats the small stuff. He makes me belly laugh more than anyone I have ever met. Even first thing in the morning, he is dancing and singing. Yes, singing. He never stops. Rusty said, I've taken that line out.
Okay, thanks.
Helen is the bravest, strongest person I know. One of Helen's nicknames, alongside others, is No Shame O'Shea. She's not fazed by anything. No challenge is too great for her, and she'll just keep going until whatever she wants to happen, happens. Sometimes this bravery could be her foolhardiness, or cop on, as they say in Cork. But all I know is that being with Helen makes me feel like I can do anything, because it seems to me that Helen can do anything she sets herself to. Helen is the most modest person I know. She is stunningly beautiful and incredibly brainy, but either she doesn't realize this, forgets this, or more likely, it doesn't matter to her. She doesn't define herself by this and doesn't judge anyone else on this, or judge other people at all in anything, really. Helen should have the biggest ego of anyone I know, and yet she doesn't really have an ego at all. This is one of Helen's most attractive features. Helen is by far and away the kindest person I know. She is one of the most caring and giving people I've ever met. If others are in hard times, Helen feels it too, even people she's never met before. It's been known for Helen to often take in, or at least want to, many a waif and stray. Her heart is full of love for other people and for the world in general. As brave, brainy, gorgeous and modest as she is, Helen's kindness is what I think is the most beautiful thing about her. Well done. So please come forward to read this.
I want my rascality fellow vagabond. I want my dark lady. I want my angel. I want my tempter. I want my Freya with her apples. I want the lighter of my 7 lamps of beauty, honor, laughter, music, love, life, and immortality. I want my inspiration, my folly, my happiness, my divinity, my madness, my selfishness, my final sanity and sanctification, my transfiguration, my purification, my light across the sea, my palm across the desert, my garden of lovely flowers, my million nameless joys, my day's wage, my night's dream, my darling and my star.
Thank you, Nico. And their love to deepen throughout the coming weeks, months, and years. May they learn the great joy that comes from giving and sharing, and may their hopes and dreams be realized. Rusty and Helen, the wedding ring is a circle, a symbol of wholeness, strength, cooperation, and peace. The circle represents the seasons of life itself, and the circle of these rings represents a symbol of your love and strength for each other. Would you like to pass your bouquet? Paddy, would you please pass Helen's ring to Rusty? Take up her hand and hold the ring in the end of her finger. Rusty, do you give this ring to Helen as a token of your love, respect, commitment, and strength for each other?
I do.
Do you pledge to love, honor, and care for Helen, for better or for worse, from this day forward, for the rest of your lives together?
I do.
Please slip the ring. Bend your finger, bend your finger. Push them underneath. That's it, that's fine. Well done. Fiona, would you please pass Rusty's ring to Helen? Helen, do you give this ring to Rusty as a token of your love, respect, commitment, and strength for each other?
I do.
Do you pledge to love, honour, and care for Rusty, for better or for worse, from this day forward, for the rest of your lives together?
I do.
Slip the ring. Please take each other's hands. I will now ask you to accept each other as husband and wife by repeating the required declaration after me. I call upon these persons here present
I call upon these persons here present
to witness that I, Rusty Gunson,
to witness that I, Rusty Gunson,
solemnly and sincerely declare
solemnly and sincerely declare
that I accept you, Helen O'Shea,
that I accept you, Helen O'Shea,
as my lawfully wedded wife.
as my lawfully wedded wife.
I call upon these persons here present
I call upon these persons here present
to witness that I, Helen O'Shea,
to witness that I, Helen O'Shea,
solemnly and sincerely declare
solemnly and sincerely declare
that I accept you, Rusty Gunson,
that I accept you, Rusty Gunson,
as my lawfully wedded husband.
as my lawfully wedded husband.
Rusty and Helen, following the declaration made before me, in the presence of your witnesses and guests, it is my very great pleasure to pronounce you to be husband and wife. supposed to take an angle picture. That should be fine. Okay, that's fine. If you just come back as you were and take your flowers with you.
Okay. I think we'll bring back
Harry. A big hand for Mark, please. And don't forget, you'll find them at Potter Row. Free to explore the grounds and join Helen and Rusty in a wee while down on the beach. But do please be mindful of the steep drop just beyond the fence there, especially if you have the children with you. May your home be a place of happiness for all who enter it. A place where the old and young are renewed in each other's company. A place for growing and a place for sharing. A place for music, a place for laughter, a place for love. May those who are nearest to you be constantly enriched by the beauty and bounty of your love for one another. And may your days be good and long upon the earth. Lastly, I know that everyone here and those who cannot be with us today will want to join me in offering you our heartfelt good wishes. We wish you luck in the future, but more importantly, hope that you continue to have love, friendship and trust from one another, and that you continue to find the strength to put effort into your relationship to keep it blooming and healthy. I'm sure everyone here will always reflect upon these proceedings and recall the happiness of this day. Enjoy the rest of the day, as I'm sure you will. And our best wishes for you to enjoy the rest of your married life. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please be upstanding. Now, before you enjoy elbow playing Grounds for Divorce, please join me in once more congratulating the bride and groom, Rusty and Helen.
I've been working on a cocktail called Grounds for Divorce. Whoa, polishing a compass that I hold in my sleeve. Whoa, down comes in on sticks, but then he kicks like a horse. And the rest you can keep, and the rest you can keep, and the rest you can keep. There's a hole in my neighborhood down which of late I cannot help but fall. There's a hole in my neighborhood down which of late I cannot help but fall. There's a hole in my neighborhood down which of late I cannot help but fall. There's a hole in my neighborhood down which of late I cannot help but fall. Someday we'll be drinking with the seldom sinking.
Yay! Mission accomplished. Oh my God! Double whammy. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Help yourself. Get yourself some wine. Come on. Just wing it. Just wing it.
Camera, sorry guys. Hi! Not used to the camera at all. Yeah, sorry, it's a moving camera. Yes. Hi Helen and Rusty. Thanks for the free drink and a beautiful setting. It's amazing.
inside a funny feeling that I can't hide. I didn't know it could happen to me. I always wanted to be free, but now I'm chained. I say I'm mad about you. I'm mad about you. I'm mad about you. I'm mad about you. I'm going out of my head over you. Cause you've been so cruel. I didn't know it could happen to me. I always wanted to be free, but now I'm chained. I said I'm mad about you. 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 I didn't know it could happen to me. I always wanted to be free, but now I'm chained. I said I'm mad about you. 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 Oh, I'm mad about you. I'm mad about you. I'm mad about you. I'm mad about you.
Hello. Oh, that's loud. Hello, everyone. I don't have anything prepared because that would be quite unlike me. Rusty's quite well prepared, I think. Yeah. He likes to do things slowly. I do things last minute and really quickly. So now we can do things really slowly and make lots of this. Oh, all right, okay.
Walk away, Brian.
Oh no, I'm going to have to like turn around to see everyone. But thank you so much for coming here today. I'm just going to introduce my father, who's going to say a few words. Before I do, I'm just so thrilled that you're all here. I know many of you made incredibly large sacrifices to come here, and I'm absolutely delighted that my nan was able to make it. She did say that she would only come to Edinburgh if she was wearing a hat, and while she's not sporting one today, her plan, her devious, dastardly plan worked rather well. So we just have some flowers for Nan. And obviously I should say thanks to my parents, my sister, but I think sometimes at weddings it can be the brothers that are the silent heroes. And my brother Declan was so busy for the last 2 days. Unsung heroes, so to my brother. my husband, Rusty. You really pulled out all the stops. So now, before I get all maudlin and start to leak, I'm going to put you over to my father, and I definitely will start to leak. So thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Helen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not used to standing behind the mic, so I'll do the best I can. Anyway, bride and groom, families and friends. It's a pleasure to be here today anyway, it surely is. Now, maybe 2 weeks ago, I started looking on the internet for a bit of inspiration for speeches. But very quickly I said, the heck with that. What I'll write it from the heart, not from the screen. So, now, can I just start off by saying, my good wife, Teresa, and I were blessed many years ago with 3 beautiful children. But again, in recent years, we've been blessed with the 3 partners in life they have chosen. Rusty being one of those today, so I just talk obviously about Helen and Rusty. Now, I talk about Helen first. Can I take you right back to a very cold January 1980-something morning? Helen arrived into this world almost 8 weeks premature and no heavier or no bigger than a little 2-pound bag of sugar. But I think in her little mind that day she said, I'm going to pull through this. And here she is today, a beautiful bride. Now, Helen and I got off to a very bad start in life because she was only moments old when the midwife said, Mr. O'Shea, she looks just like you. And I was thinking, I don't think so. But then it took me a moment to realise that she was actually holding her by the ankles and I was looking down on her backside. But yes, when she turned around right way up, she was a beautiful baby, just like me. Now, can I fast forward 5 years to when she started school? Everything was going fine, and a few weeks after we got a letter home from the teachers and all could. Teresa and myself come in and have a word. She was having a problem with Helen. There was I thinking, geez, if she's been bored, I'll kill her. I'll fucking kill her. So off we went anyway. The problem turned out to be that not alone was she doing her own schoolwork, but she was doing everybody else's schoolwork as well. I think she was actually planting the little seeds for the academic career that lay ahead for her. So that went well, finished school, finished secondary school, came home, told us she was going to Galway to college. And I said, what? Going to Galway, 200 miles away? Sure, how are we going to protect you and look after you 200 miles away? But anyway, off she went. And I now have an apology to make to Helen. I did not realise, Helen, that was the first step on a very, very long journey to becoming Dr. Helen O'Shea. So she finished in Galway again. She got on brilliant there, not a problem, no more problems by the way at school. And after a few years she decided she was coming here to Edinburgh. I said, another country? Why? I mean, I can't, that was a rather freaking moment, I can't have that at all. So, but I think Teresa was beginning to see the bigger picture at the time. And with Teresa's foresight and Helen's keen interest in Edinburgh University, she arrived here, finished her studies, and shortly after that, who should she meet but Rusty? Knowing that she came.
Helen has been a perfect daughter. She has been the shining light in our family, and a joy to all those who come in contact with her. And I'm sure she will bring much joy and happiness to Rusty and his family. As a family, we have shared many, many happy years with Helen, and indeed some very important occasions as well. The most recent, other than today of course, was here at the Irish Consulate for the launch of her book. Helen, we were very, very proud family. So I'm going to conclude, Helen, just to say this to you. We're very, very proud of you, and we love you very much. No, forget it. No, this is a different method. This is going to be hard to pull off. Our first meeting with Rusty must have been close to 6 years ago now. Again, Helen does everything in the cold. On a cold winter's night, we were sitting at home, Helen rang. Mum and Dad, you must come to Edinburgh, best. Mum and Dad, you must come to Edinburgh. Oh, we said, wait, Helen, what's wrong? Oh, nothing. I want you to meet my boyfriend. He's lovely, he's kind, and he's confident. No. Yes, he was lovely, he was kind, and he was a gentleman. The confident, I question, but I'll tell you about that later. So, anyway, on that occasion, we welcomed Rusty into the family. And today, I want to formally welcome him as part of the family. So, welcome, Rusty. I also want to love him, no way. I also want to thank him for the love and support that he's given Helen, both in her personal life and public life over the last few years. So thanks again, Rusty. Now, as for the confidence, I'll leave you judge for yourselves. Last summer we spent a lovely week at Rusty and Helen's new house. Lovely, that is, if you like painting. So, on the last night we went out for a meal and a few drinks, as you do. And I think our family is a bit like the Waltons. How many of you remember the Waltons on TV? How many of you is old enough? Good night, John Boy. Good night, Mary Ellen. Good night, whoever lives a half mile down the road. And it rubbed off on Rusty. We came back in at 2:30 in the morning. Good night, Teresa. Good night, Dick. Good night, Rusty. Sleep well, Teresa. Sleep well, Dick. 4 hours later, Mr. O'Shea? Mrs. O'Shea? Can I come in? I wanted to talk to you. Of course you can, Rusty. Are you awake? No, Rusty, we're talking no sleep. In he comes anyway. In he comes anyway. Jesus, he looks scared. I thought something was after having an accident. But he starts off, you know, this holiday now, I'm going next week, myself and Helen. It is very special. Oh, I'm sure it is, Rusty. You're going to be best man for your very good, or best friend, I suppose. Which is more special than that now, Mr. O'Shea. And where was Dick and Teresa gone in 4 hours, like to all Mr. and Mrs.? It is more special than that now. Why is it, Rusty? It is because myself and Helen are going away for a few days on our own. I said, that's very special. But it's more special. I know where this is going. The answer is yes, just ask. So eventually, he asked anyway. I was delighted, and there was no question, because yes was the answer. Teresa was sitting up in bed for 6:30 in the morning. She had arms outstretched, but of the hog. Rusty ran towards her, tripped in the mat, fell flat on top of her. And I think he must have thought he was either pushed or shoved, because he didn't get off right away. As much as pushed me or shoved me, until Teresa said, "Rusty, you're heavy." Oh jeez, I can't continue my joke in the head. I'm haunted with it. And I'm glad Helen didn't see it, because she'd be having nightmares every time she looked at it. Rusty, it's been a pleasure getting to know you over the last few years. And we are very pleased to have you as our son-in-law going forward. We admire our daughter's choice of husband. We wouldn't, this is a cliche, but we wouldn't have done better ourselves. So we wish you the very best of luck going forward. May the road of marriage rise to greet you. May your troubles be few and your blessings be many. Everyone standing with their glasses, Helen and Rusty. We're still live.
Well, everyone, poor Paddy, that's all I had to say. He got through 3 bottles of wine last night. I think he's got through another 4 tonight in preparation for his speech next. I get the easy speech. I did Paddy's best man speech last year, and I'm not the father of the bride, so I get the very good sort of thanking people and being nice to people speech. And I get to start it with, on behalf of my wife and I. However, as if I am actually speaking on behalf of Helen, because we all know Helen, and we all know that Helen can speak on behalf of herself, on behalf of me, and on behalf of probably all of us here 10 times over. But traditions are traditions. First, I want to say thank you to everyone who's here, and that's been said already by Helen, who's stolen probably half my speech, but that's okay, that's okay. Genuinely, and it was said by the celebrant outside, you all represent our nearest and dearest here, and we all love you immensely, which is why you are here. And it means such a huge amount for you to be here with us on this day. It wouldn't be worth it unless you were here. We have had... We've had a huge number of people come from such far distances. We've had Adele come from Australia, which is, I think, wins. Rainer, where are you? Rainer from Switzerland, there he is. My auntie, uncle and cousins up from England. We've had the Irish contingent from another country, a foreign country. And my sister, of course, my mother, is now heckling me, not only during the ceremony, but now during my speech as well, incidentally. You've come from across the country and across the world, genuinely, literally, and it means so much. Also, we have some of our oldest friends here. So Georgie, who is my oldest friend, is here with Toria. We met when I was 2 weeks old, would you believe? And here he is. And we've got Helen, Wesley, who gave the reading earlier today, is one of Helen's, there's so many, but one of Helen's oldest friends. Apparently, Helen used to feed Wesley the treats from her lunchbox. That could have been differently phrased. As well as old friends, we have very new friends, not only interesting plus ones. I'm not looking at anyone in particular here, but also we have new babies. So we have baby Maeve, who's where is Nico and Claire? Oh yeah, okay, they're busy. And we also have baby Chloe, or had baby Chloe, next door as well. We have a baby spot next door. Poor baby Chloe has the misfortune of having Steve as her dad, but is more than made up for by having Fiona as her mum, so we're absolutely fine. God, you're right. I didn't realise. I wrote this speech really drunk about 2 days ago. And, Vic just heckled me, suggesting I was flirting with all the women. And you're absolutely right. As well as general thanks, Mark, who played the piano, who isn't here anymore, but we do, Mark and Maeve with me. Yeah. Thank you so much to Mark, and I think a round of applause to Mark. And I've already mentioned Wesley, and I mentioned Nico, but thank you so much for giving the readings today. They were brilliant. Both. Wesley, you can tell, I think you may have known he is an actor. And I was so mean to Nico because not only did we put him on after Wesley, but secondly, we gave him the most difficult words to speak, even with an English accent, never mind with a French accent. But as the celebrant said, who better to talk about love than a Frenchman? Especially a Frenchman who's had such practice at love. But I am only joking. Yeah, I am only joking. How lucky am I and how lucky are we to have friends like all of you, even if that's not necessarily felt in the opposite direction. I wanted to say a few words about Helen's family as well as everyone here. Ever since I met you many years ago, you've all been, I've got my back to some of you, but you've all been so loving and open and warm, and I'm sure I'm sure Lou and Chris feel the same way. Hello, Dex. And I don't think I know a family that loves each other more than the O'Shea family. And genuinely, you not only share that love with each other, you share it with us too. And I thank you hugely for that. Even to a roving Scotsman who's up to steal your daughter away. And Helen's nana, Chrissy, you are now officially the oldest member of my family. Wisest member of my family. And I'll certainly be in regular touch as to how to deal with marriage with Helen. I think you've got. And in particular, Dick and Teresa, you are two of my most favourite people on the planet. So I don't genuinely say that to anyone, never mind to you two, never mind with a microphone or in big public. But it's the last time, it's the first time. No matter what, I love you. No matter your speech, Dick, I love you very much. But yes, thank you. Dick, you were so generous in your speech earlier in one regard, because you didn't tell a story about how we actually met, especially when it was on the theme of confidence. So I met Dick and Teresa in a dark basement pub in Edinburgh about 6 years ago, about 5.5 years ago. And I was very nervous going down these stairs, walking down to see my fate, which was Dick and Teresa. And I'd hyped myself up. I thought I was doing really well, I was 5 minutes in, I was chatting away, the chat hadn't stopped whatsoever, until like a flash, Dick turned around to me and gone, "Don't worry son, you're doing really well." But if only you'd take your hands from over your penis, you'd be doing even better. Teresa was obviously in on the joke, because she almost rolled around laughing. It's true, and needless to say, for the rest of the night, I absolutely sat on my hands. I don't know what Freud would say, but I feel really privileged to be joining your family today, the Hayes and the O'Sheas, and I know how lucky I am to be doing so. Also, my own family, I want to say a few words about you guys. We made my mum and my sister cry today, which I think deserves some kind of round of applause. Vic is very easy to make cry, but these two, oh my God. She's gone, she's crying. My mom, my dad, my brothers and my sisters and their various husbands, wives and appendages, not to mention my nieces and nephews. You've all been so supportive of me throughout my whole life, and you really have made me who I am. I'll leave that to you to judge as to whether that's a good thing or not. And in particular, I want to say thanks to my nephews, Bruno and Bernie, for being ushers today. And to Isabel and Nina Rosa for being flower girls today. Again, I feel very, very lucky. And there's a few folk that can't be here today, both geographically, but also existentially, in the sense that, including my own granny, who died only 3 months ago, at the very, very ripe age, very ripe, like, you know, some might say overripe age, of 99 and a half. She was lovely, I'm only joking. However, while she's not here in person, she is here in spirit, or should I say, in terms of wine, beer, and fizz on your table. In essence, she bought that for you. So I think at this point, we should take a wee glug to those that can't be here, not just her, and a very happy glug, not a sad. Then, of course, our fabulous bridesmaid. Not to steal this bit from Paddy's speech or anything. Fiona has been multitasking as not only Chris's, I don't know what it was some kind of champagne incident we had over here in the eye. Not only as Chris's tea towel, but also as Helen's bridesmaid and sister. And I'm sure you agree that Fiona looks beautiful. But I'm also, wait. I'm sure you'll also agree that Chris looks almost as beautiful as well. See, I didn't actually steal that bit from Paddy's speech. And then there's Paddy. Paddy, my best. Are you actually deleting your speech as we speak? I could do this all night. I really could. I could tell you all about me. It'll be fine. Paddy, my best man. I think you'll all agree that Paddy looks absolutely stunning today. You've made a real effort with your legs and with your beard, and I think we should all now a round of applause for how beautiful Paddy looks. I should say at this point that Paddy is a phenomenal public speaker. He is very, very funny. In no way is he nervous in any way at all, and you should all have very high expectations of this. My mum is now hitting me, never mind heckling me. So I'm very lucky to join the O'Sheas and the Hayes. I'm very lucky to already have the Gunsons as my own family. And we are so lucky to have you all as friends and family. And this is the bit where I need to take a deep breath. But the real reason I feel lucky is that today I married Helen O'Shea. I mean, how lucky am I? She's a workaholic, for whom 14 jobs is not too much. When working, sleeps 3 hours a day. When it doesn't work, she gloats about going to the cinema and lunching with all of her friends that are either pregnant or just had babies. And she's almost pathologically incapable of planning ahead. She's one of the most gullible people I've met, and she's always late, I'm sure you'd agree. Never apologises for being so. She has an unquenchable thirst for fizzy water and tea, and an insatiable desire to see me deliver both in litres each day. I mean, how lucky am I? But more seriously though, I am only joking. I know exactly how lucky I am. And I think that makes me probably luckier still. Helen is the most beautiful person I've ever met. And yes, of course, in terms of how you look, and also you look absolutely stunning today, as always. I mean, this cake, if ever Superwoman was apt, I think this cake made it mostly so. You're the most brainy person I know, which probably is a feeling that unites most people in this room. But as beautiful and as brainy as you are, the size of your heart outstrips both. And that's why I love you so much. There's a running theme in my speech today, and I'm sure you've noticed, and that's how lucky I feel. I genuinely feel like the luckiest man alive to have met you, Helen, to have fallen in love with you, and never mind somehow for you to have fallen in love with me. And I'm so lucky, as we both are, to have you all here to share this with us. So if you join me in one last final toast, if you could all be standing. This is an untraditional one. And I think we should toast to all of us. So to all of us. To all of us. Congratulations. my best man, Paddy. So before Paddy speaks though, there's some really clear ground rules we need to set. One is that Paddy's favourite phrase is never let the truth get in the way of a good story. A bit like Dick O'Shea, okay? I don't remember falling into Teresa, but I just remember being incredibly relieved that they were fully clad when I walked into the room. And also, please bear in mind that I was mean to him when I was his best man last year. So in short, anything Paddy says is a lie unless it's nice, honestly.
Thank you, Rusty. I think I'm going to go to the front to do my speech. So it's quite close to the door, and far away from you, so...
Should we clap Paddy down now?
Thank you. Can I be heard by everyone? Okay, before I get into the really juicy stuff on the best man speech about Rusty, there are a few cards from people who couldn't make it today, which I'd just like to read out first of all. To Helen and Rusty, congratulations on your special day. Wishing you a lifetime of love and happiness together. Have a great wedding. Wish we could be there. Love, Sandra, Mart, Dara, and Connor. And this one was emailed to me, or text message actually. To Helen and Rusty, we wish you the very best today and in the future together as a married couple. We'd love so much to be there celebrating your special occasion. Move along. We're thinking of you. Today is supposed to be the best day of your life, and so enjoy it. From, I think it's pronounced Tiger.
Tiger.
Tiger in the net. Here we are. I would like to thank a few people as well. I'd like to thank, first of all, Rusty for asking me to be his best man. Knowing as much as he does, how much I love public speaking, standing in front of large groups of people, so thank you, Rusty. I would also like to thank everyone for being here. I know many people have travelled far and wide to get here today, especially the Irish contingent, the Cork posse, so big shout out to Cork, thank you very much. And finally I'd like to thank Fiona. Rusty did steal I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, I'll do it again. Thank you, Fiona. You were fantastic today, and we all agree you look stunning, so thank you. Right, Rusty. I have known Rusty all my adult life. We met at Freshers Week in university, where we instantly realised that we shared a passion for drinking beer, talking about politics, watching sport and TV, eating almost anything, and taking part in regular and vigorous exercise. I may have made it the last one. But we have many things we share in common. So I was absolutely delighted and honoured that he asked me to be his best man. Thank you. Okay, now, I also believe the key to a good best man speech is achieving a balance between sentiment and a bit of humour at the groom's expense. Now, I don't know whether I've achieved that balance. I do have some nice things to say over Rusty, but there's plenty more jokes at his expense, really. So, I will start with the heartfelt and the emotional. When I sat down to think about this speech, there are a number of words that I think just automatically spring to mind. Funny, intelligent, warm, kind, musically talented. In many ways, a fine human being. It's been my utter pleasure to know. But then I realised, whoa. Then I realised I wasn't here just to talk about Helen. I should say a few words about Rusty as well. I must have been there before the punchline. But I do have a few nice things to say about Rusty. Or Russell. Rusty Russell. Some please say some is Russell, some is Rusty, and that has caused a bit of confusion in the past. Hecklers. I know when Rusty first met Helen's mum, and many of you know Helen's mum is a childminder. Rusty went into the house and there were a couple of children in the kitchen. And Rusty, in his usual manner, he introduced himself and he said, "Hello, my name's Rusty. What's your name?" To this, a 3-year-old child replied, "Don't be silly. Rusty's not your name. That's a dog's name." I may call it a dog's name, but it's also how I know this dangerous and beautiful animal at the back. Rusty has suggested that I will let the truth get in the way of a good story, that I might in some way embellish things for a cheap laugh. So in order to address this problem, I wanted to give you a story about Rusty in his own words. This is something that he has written. There can be no doubt that it comes from him and it's from the heart. So I turned to his end-of-year school book. It's the end-of-year book where people write a few things about their formative years at school, that they want to be, how they want to be remembered. Their friends can look back on this fondly in years to come. And I was delighted that one of his friends from school was able to provide me with this golden material. Okay? Thank you very much. Now, I think most of this is accurate. When asked his address, Rusty replied, 8 Findon Village. Is that right? No, roughly, okay. It was Findon. Yeah, okay. For his immediate future, he replied, go to Edinburgh University to study social sciences. Check. Achievement in S6. And this one seems unlikely, but Rusty replied, staying sober at the S6 ball. It does sound unlikely, but I have it in good word that he did stay sober at his final year ball. The next question, most embarrassing moment. A 17-year-old Rusty replied, I don't get that embarrassed. Let's see if that still holds. Because, for the very next question, how would you like to be remembered? When many young people might simply say, as a good friend, he was trustworthy, he was loyal, someone who was good at football, something like that. A 17-year-old Rusty replied, I would like to be remembered as the most sexually rampant person in Portlethen Academy there will ever be. Ever. That is a direct quote from his yearbook. The most sexually rampant person in Portlethen Academy there will ever be. Now, I didn't go to Portlethen Academy. I wasn't there at the time, but I also know when Rusty puts his mind to something, he more often than not achieves his ambitions. But I have spoken to people who were there at the time and who knew him well, and apparently this is one ambition that he did not achieve. Heartfelt congratulations must go to Carl Gunson, however, who currently still holds the record. Well done, Carl. Great. Yeah, there we go. So it stayed in the family. This one says wrong card. I was going to. Rusty did his speech at my wedding last year, completely without notes. So it was very impressive. I was going to try and do this speech without notes, but then I was worried I'd leave out a big section about the structural deficit or something. That was a Labour Party joke. Thank you very much. It's been niche, but yeah. There we go. Right. One of Rusty's main attributes is his loyalty. He's loyal to his friends, he's loyal to those people he cares about, but his loyalty also extends to sun cream. Now, there are many other brands are available, but that doesn't seem to matter to Rusty, who is fiercely loyal to a sun cream called Ryman P20. I'm sure he's already got some for his honeymoon next week. So this Ryman P20, now, I hadn't heard of it, but apparently someone had told him that it was an apply once lotion and it worked and it was a business. And Rusty hasn't looked anywhere else since when it comes to sun cream brands. And I have spent many hours traipsing around shops in Greece when we were on holiday together looking for this one particular sun cream. That's not so bad, I think. Okay, we've all been shopping with friends and days drag on a bit. But this was in the pre-Helen days, when there were only two of us on the beach, and the task of rubbing this stuff in fell to me, and it takes an awfully long time to absorb. Ooh, shudder thinking back, but you know, I'd chosen another brand and it would be fine, but I'm not this stuff. Another one of his attributes is, of course, punctuality. No, it's not. He's never on time. He's always late. I don't even have a joke about this, so I just want to get it off my chest. It's annoyed me for years. I'm surprised that he managed to turn up today. So yeah, he's not punctual. That's it. But he is known for his sharp, analytical mind. I remember being at university. One evening, we went out for a couple of drinks, and Rusty boldly declared that he wouldn't be showering that evening before going out because he had recently eaten. Well, impressed in this bizarre statement, it turned out that he'd read somewhere that you shouldn't go into the water on a full stomach. Sharp like a knife. What a mind. That's not very Rusty. Let's talk a little bit about when he first met Helen. Now, I think very early on in the relationship I knew that this was something very special. Partly because he wouldn't let me meet Helen for the first few months, possibly worried I would bring up his sexually rampant past. He kept making excuses and leaving the pub early, going to meet a colleague from work. However, it was clear that he had met someone new, and someone with a touch of class, certain intelligence, as the French say, a certain I do not know. I just say bad, we'll try to do the English better. Anyway, well, way past that. Anyway, yes, so there were signs that something was going on. The first clue. There started to appear adult and sophisticated drinks in his flat. No longer when I went round was I offered a glass of Pepsi, or even a warm Tennent's. Now it was a Carlsberg in a bottle from the fridge. Ooh la la! What's going on here? I thought to myself. And there were also the odd empty wine bottle, a couple of wine glasses lying about his flat. One of them obviously still had the residue of Pepsi in it from the night before, but someone classy had been there. And another sign that he'd met someone with a bit of intelligence was that his vocabulary improved almost overnight. All of a sudden, he casually started using words like pejorative, parsimonious and my round in conversation. Again, I made that last one up. He's married Dean, so that never happened. But I was delighted he finally met someone who he loved more than he loved me. Someone who clearly made him very happy. I was also excited to find that this person was from Ireland, because that meant I no longer had to bear the brunt of his awful Irish accent. No more top of the morning to see you, Paddy. To be sure. Yeah, now Helen's with her family, her friends, are going to have to suffer this till death do you part. Awful. And then I finally was allowed to meet Helen. Eventually. And what can I say about Helen? Not only does she make Rusty fabulously happy, but she seems to have lived a life that reminds me somewhat of an Irish version of Forrest Gump. Both she and Forrest Gump enjoy running. I have actually appeared in the front of Runner's World magazine with Helen. But she doesn't enjoy running. I've run races with her. Helen has run races around the country and around Europe. Particularly, she enjoyed the race in Madrid, where she definitely did not turn up at Madrid, go out drinking heavily the night before, fail to turn up for the race day, despite having already collected her I completed Madrid half marathon t-shirt, which she now wears proudly at any other running events. That did not happen. She loves running. She loves running and would never be distracted for her passion for running by a drink. But there are other things she's done in her rich and varied life. She's been a pastry chef. She's lived in San Francisco. She's appeared regularly on TV. She's interviewed presidents and terrorists, written a soon-to-be best-selling book. She's appeared on stage with Elton John, and she's even made a lemsip for Johnny Depp when he was feeling poorly. Or so I'm told. So there you go. A rich and varied lives both. I wouldn't be surprised if Helen had used her ping pong skills to smooth over diplomatic relations between Ireland and China. Set up her shrimp business or something like that. And I also remember being there when Rusty first met Helen's mommy and daddy in that pub in Edinburgh. Some of his friends came along a bit later on for some moral support. And I do remember as well Helen's dad had, at that stage compared a very nervous Rusty to Tommy Cooper without the hat. And I thought this was funny on its own. It's also quite accurate on a number of fronts. Because he looks a little bit like he did in his younger years, certainly a little bit Tommy Cooper without the hat. He has died on stage a few times. And Rusty was certainly not wearing a hat. Because those of us who know Rusty well knew that his head is simply too large to fit inside most modern hats. Now, a bit like the sun cream, I have spent a long time traipsing around shops looking for hats to fit his head. Someone's trying to put a hat on at the minute, clearly doesn't fit. Yeah, head's too big. Take it off. You look ridiculous. So he does have a big head. It's amazing. I know. Yeah, I spent a long time, and I remember once in Greece. Again, going from shop to shop, trying to protect Rusty's noggin from the hot Greek sun. And we eventually thought we'd find something that fitted the bill, something large enough. We went up to purchase this, and the woman who ran the shop said, this is not that. It is for cat to sleep in. I don't know if she was Russian, I think the accent's not from really great, because I'm Russian. But yeah, head's so big that cats want to sleep in his hats. Now, Helen is a very exciting person to be around. I do know it was Rusty's extreme good fortune to have met Helen. But it was also my good fortune and the good fortune of many of our friends that Rusty met Helen, because it was through him we have met Helen, and we have the joy and happiness that she brings into our lives as well. So absolutely delighted to meet Helen. She's a legend. Legend. I'm going to say some nice things about Rusty. I don't want to give Rusty a big head. Clearly nature is already taking care of that for us. Thank you. But Rusty is one of the most thoughtful, considerate, compassionate, interesting and talented people I know. Woo! Yes, he's been great for supporting me over the years, and I know he's someone who's always prepared to give up his time for his friends, and many of us here today have relied on his wise words and support at different times. It's my great honour to be his friend, to have had him as my best man last year at my wedding, and to be here today as his best man. He's basically my brother from another mother. And I know Helen's really been looking forward to getting married, to becoming his wife. I know as well that Rusty will make an exceptional husband. Yes. Although he will be late for things, and he's pointing this out, he's not punctual. Okay? Yeah.
She's late as well. She's late as well.
She was late, that's right. He was getting a bit nervous earlier today when turned up, and his mum started heckling, saying, she's not coming, Rusty. That's a bit harsh. Helen and Rusty are two of the finest human beings I have had the pleasure to meet. They share a deep love for one another, and I am so happy for them today. So I would like you please just to be all standing for one last time. Raise your glasses. I would like to propose a toast to the bride and groom, Helen and Rusty. Oh, sorry. There was one last thing I wanted to say, sorry. Many of you know that Rusty is a very talented musician, and he's been kind enough to play at my wedding last year, where he became a bit of a star actually. We got married out in Greece. And so successful was Rusty that I'd be on the beach a couple of weeks later, and people would be coming up to me going, "Oh, where's Mr. Russell? Mr. Russell, play a song for us. Where is he?" He's gone home. But yeah, he played at our wedding. He's played at many of our friends' weddings over the year. And I don't have any musical talent. I'm not going to sing for you. Don't worry. No, don't worry. I'm not going to sing. But I did want to give something back to him. And I do like a dance. So I thought of a song of a band I know Rusty loves. A song that I think sums up beautifully Rusty and Helen's relationship. And I thought to myself, what can I do with this?
We fell in love right by the ocean, made all our plans down on the sand, and from the tips of your fingers down to the soles of your feet, a glimmer in your skin that I can't believe. And take a trip to the sea, let your hair run free. Oh, you're a rebel in disguise. Is that the devil in your eyes? We fell in love right by the ocean, just wanna stand behind you. So the right and the wrong, as it goes that you do that you see. Now we're passion in our eyes, there's no way we can disguise a single degree. So we take each other's hands, cause we seem to understand the air I see. Let's remember, you're the one thing that I can't get enough of. So I'll tell you something. This could be love, because I had the time of my life, and I've never felt this way before. Never felt this way. It's the truth, and I owe it all to you. Hey, baby.
One more song, and then
You're my body and my soul.
Okay, come on, we need to see that shit. We need to see that shit. We need to see that shit.
Just let it go.
Be afraid.
Without losing control. Yes, I know what's on your mind. When you say it, scared to be tonight. Right, remember, you're the one thing that I can't get enough of. So I tell you something. It's gonna be love, because I had the time of my life, and I never felt this way before. Yes, I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you. I had the time of my life, and I'm searching to every open door till I found the truth, and I owe it all to you.
I lost it. Yes, you know.